Hi Virgo, it's me Lori with 3 Keys Astrology. If you're new to my channel, welcome to this channel and thank you so much for subscribing. Virgo, this is your forecast for April 2025, and in this forecast I want you to keep in mind that the month is a little bit split. So the beginning of the month can be quite trying for you. It's because Mercury is your planetary ruler. And Mercury is in retrograde as we speak while this video is being made. Mercury stations direct and indeed will go into Aries on between April 16th and 17th, depending on where you live in the world. So things seem to get better as the month progresses for that reason, but not only that reason. It's because Virgo, your sisters in the zodiac are Taurus and Capricorn. And on April 20th, Easter Sunday, my late mom's birthday, her heavenly birthday, when Taurus is in, the sun is in Taurus, this is power for you and this is energy for you. So, especially if you're a Virgo rising, but this applies if your sun, your moon, or your rising sign is in Virgo. But Virgo rising, this affects houses 1, your rising sign, house 5, which is Capricorn, and house 9, which happens to be your Taurus house. So at the mid-month, at Easter, indeed, things change and can get a little bit more congruent and a little bit more solid, and you'll feel a little bit more secure as the month goes on. Though we've got a couple of trying energies we're going to talk about. This month, blessing your relationship area, which means your most personal relationship. The relationship you have with your husband or a business partner. It's legal. That's its quantification from casual relationships. So this is a marriage partner, a business partner, somebody that you're intimately involved with. Your very special other. And Venus is shining on this person all month long. And indeed, Venus is shining on that relationship that belongs to you, Virgo rising, with Saturn there too, making it a ride or die relationship, a commitment that's really, really quite beautiful and is there for you no matter what. That makes me really happy for you. I do want you to take a little closer look at what you as a couple in this marriage or you as a couple in this business partnership have for legacy goals. Because we've got a little bit of energy in your 8th house where Aries is that's a bit disruptive. And that's because the goddess of chaos is there. The goddess Eris. Also, we've got Chiron, the wounded healer, there. And then Neptune moved in there too. So if you have any questions, especially any doubts, it's better for you to go get things clarified with legal experts or a good lawyer, an estate attorney, or if the two of you or your business has wills, or if you need to form an LLC. There can't be anything that's cloudy or anything that you're unsure of. You gotta dot all your I's and cross all your T's and thoroughly understand your insurance policies, any wills or estates that the business might have or the marriage might have, and do really focus on that this April. It's quite important. The next thing I want you to know is Mercury retrograde is happening in your no, that's going to be happening on the 17th of March. Sorry, we're in April. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm probably not going to do any more videos. I'm tired. I've done all signs and it's taken all day. And my hubby actually had to go to bed without me, begging me to stop working. I am getting tired. This is a lot. But I'm doing it for you. And I'm doing it because there's a brand new reading I'm offering at www.3keysastrology.com, my website. And I'm doing this feature because I'm offering you a written reading you'll get your written monthly horoscope that pertains precisely to your birth chart. And you'll get that written out for you, customized for just you each month if you want it. It's a mere $100, and it comes right to your inbox. So go click on that reading on the website. You'll see this little row of bombs because it's something new. It's the Bomb Diddy of 3 Keys Astrology, and you can click on that, and I'm happy to do that for you. I think it really makes personal these horoscopes for you that are quite helpful. So at the mid-month, there's a whole lot of energy in your 8th house. That's why I want you to start now. While Mercury's in retrograde, you, Virgo, can be having mechanical difficulties with equipment. You can be having some miscommunication. You can be misunderstood. Some things that are mercurial communications, problems with children, can really be a part of life right now at the beginning of the month. The things that could be wrong with vehicles are minor repairs, but things that need tuned up are like checking the brakes or checking the fluids and making sure headlights are clean and wipers are replaced and little tiny mechanical things that need attended. As the month goes on, we'll have Neptune in Aries. At the end of the month, Venus goes into Aries, where the goddess of chaos is, and the wounded healer Chiron. So that area is pretty lit up in your chart, that 8th house. Other people's money. Are you getting the child support you deserve? Are you getting the alimony you deserve? Any stipend or any income tax check refund maybe? That's the time of the year. So make sure that you have all your files, all your paperwork, everything organized. Get things nice and neat this month. It's really, really important for your organization. And I know Virgo gets this reputation as being fastidious when it comes to, you do have an excellent business acumen. You are one of the best analysts in the zodiac. But I've known Virgo to be at extremes. And of the mutable signs, the 3 others are twins. Gemini is a twin, Pisces is a twin, Sagittarius is a twin. You're not a twin, but I've seen extremes in Virgo. I've either seen them to be very lazy and slovenly with their surroundings or overly anal with cleanliness and perfection and everything in place and everything ordered, and it's very upsetting to them if it's not. Comment below and tell me which one you are. And I'd also like you to comment below and leave me the degree of your sun, your moon, or your rising sign, Virgo, because each month this month of April 2025, I'm offering everyone a Sabian symbol monogram, which means you'll know the imprint of the Sabian symbol. According to Dr. Mark Edmund Jones, whose son is alive and a working astrologer. Dr. Mark Edmund Jones was a psychologist with a practice, and I think he taught at Yale. He worked in an Ivy League school, and he wrote several astrology books and was quite the thinker. And he wrote this book on Sabian symbols. It's really interesting, that are the universals or the archetypes of the roles people play in their life. And I chose one for you, Virgo, that I'll be reading to you that talks about this month for you. The other thing you should know is if you have a stellium in Virgo, then you've got a lot of Virgo energy, which is 3 or more planets in the sign Virgo. So comment below, please. Number 1, tell me which extreme of the Virgo energy are you, Virgos? Are you a little bit lazy, don't care much about the cleanliness in your surroundings in your home, you live in a lot of clutter, your paperwork's not organized, or are you at the far other end of the spectrum where everything's got to be neat, or you just go nuts? And as a matter of fact, for the rest of us listening, comment below and tell me, what does your work desk look like? Cluttered and messy, but you know where it all is? Or is everything always put away at the end of your work day and nice and neat and clean with just maybe the lamp or your pencil pack? Or I'd like to know. Let's talk about desks, since Virgo's the analyst and a great business person. I will tell you that you have some sweet days, as do we all. and one of them happens to be Easter this month. The 20th of April is Easter Sunday, and we couldn't have sweeter energy that day. I love that day, and I hope you make the most of it. You have a purity about your sign that is natural to you, that you're born with, and you're one of the most loyal friends. You're a worker bee. We can count on you. You keep your word. You're honest. You do what you say and say what you do. And that's so very welcome in the world we live in. I really love for you Easter Day. And quite fortunate for you are the 27th and 28th of May, which is a new moon in Taurus. And it's because Taurus is your sister. And that day is a little bit hard. And I'm going to tell you what I tell others. Everybody listening to this forecast, the 27th and 28th, because it's a new moon, which means the night sky will be dark, we have a square to Pluto, and that's danger for people in public places, especially those that are raging and rebelling in the streets and destroying other people's property and destroying the truth and making mountains out of molehills and trying to twist things to their convenience. And Pluto rules politics, so the corruption that's happening in the public is because of a division in what's supposed to be a whole united front. There's also a square to Mars, which can be danger to families and family feuding. But the beautiful thing about a new moon is the sun and moon are together. And so what I ask you, Virgo, and Taurus, because it's happening for you, it's a new beginning for us. Virgo, this new beginning is happening to you, especially you Virgo rising, in the area where new babies can come into the family. So you could have newborn babies being created at this time, and or being born, and new members of the family. And that is always cause for celebration, that holiness, especially this time of the year, during Easter. So that's a high blessing. Easter Sunday is a beautiful day. For you personally, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 24th. Now I warn you, the 3rd is a really difficult day for everybody overall. But this day is particularly sweet for you, Virgo, because it's shining light on your loved one. So again, your most important relationship. We have Venus and Saturn there in that sector, which is to get married, to be committed, to renew your vows, to believe in one another, and it's really quite amazing. And again, your 1st house is blessed, your 5th house is blessed, and your 9th house is blessed. The 9th house is land, property, money, higher education, traveling, acquiring land, maybe the homeland of your ancestors or a family, because Taurus has something to do with that family lineage. And you're valuable, so there's a lot of positive energy for you this month. I will say that the worst days of this month for everybody, it isn't just you. We have difficult energy on the 3rd, on the 13th, and on Good Friday, the 18th. So be smart. I'm still asking you, if you've been with me for a while, you've heard me telling you, public places and crowded public places are a no-no. Virgo, because Mercury rules you, I'm sure, and comment below to validate this for me. Lots of lung issues have you gone through since fall through winter, and you can still be having some inflammation or congestion, some kind of infection in your breathing apparatus. So please comment below. It's prevalent, and when Mercury retrogrades, sometimes that can mean recurrence of old infections or flare-ups. And I want to know how your children are. Please let me know, because Virgo rules children and cares about children and has a childlike sweetness and innocence. We've got Mars moving into Leo on the 19th of April, and this presents a problem because Pluto's in Aquarius. Mars will be opposite Pluto, and that energy is caustic, and it's dangerous. It's war, mano a mano, and it's, while this channel's about relationships, human nature, I also feature a lot of criminology on this channel and focus on deviant behavior. So interpersonally, we can see things like that happening. On a grand scale and a mundane scale in the world at large, there's going to be bad outbreaks and lots of killing and lots of destruction. The other thing I want you to be aware of is that Black Moon Lilith moved into Scorpio, so that if you are Virgo rising, this occurs in your third house. And that can mean one of your siblings, can mean a fallout with a sibling that's possibly through some kind of inheritance or legacy or a fighting over what the parents had or who's in charge. Black Moon Lilith is ruthless, and she takes whatever she gets her hands on. So beware of those characters. I've done videos on the channel for what her energy is like. She seduces you, so she'll come in as though she's being helpful, and then she'll steal and pillage. And then we have to look at ourselves. Is there anything about you, Virgo, that you're selling yourself out for or selling yourself short? Are you working for less pay than you deserve? Are you, is there something? Be careful around your children. Double check and triple check references. Make sure your teachers are wholesome in the schools, or if your children are in daycare. Black Moon Lilith in your third house can infect elementary schools, nursery schools, preschools, and be those nefarious others that do harm to the children while the parents are hard at work and away. So I want you to double check and mark my words, you won't be sorry. So be on guard for that. The other thing I want you to know is when Mars does move into Leo on the 19th of April, this puts a focus of that energy in your 12th house. And in the 12th house, Mars and Leo can be a saboteur. This is hidden enemies, secret enemies. And so I want you to watch. Make sure you know what's going on behind the scenes. So that is what's going on at home while I'm at work. What's going on. And the key to this too is to be very realistic, because you are. You're a great analyst. So make sure your logic is following and that you're not overtired, or that you don't get caught up in suspicions. But this is a time for high caution. Unfortunately, Mars opposite Pluto happens in your 2 health houses for Virgo rising. Now this applies to all Virgo that Mercury rules, but Virgo rising puts Leo in your 12th house. And that means your mental health, or some kind of hospitalization, or some kind of infection, or some kind of inflammation that takes you out of your daily life and work, because you've got to rest, restore, rehabilitate, get healthy. Also, the reflection of this bleeds over into your 6th house of your everyday work, where Pluto is. And Pluto in Aquarius is contaminants in the air and the environment. And so I really want you, do a really deep, thorough cleaning. Pay a professional. And if you live, please excuse me, if you live around carpeting and old drapery or old wallpaper or mildew situations, clean them up, Virgo. This month is a time Mercury retrograde lets you refresh, repair, realize, and then remedy situations. If you need it, I have a video, I have a reading on my channel, a reading on my website, www.3keysastrology.com. I taught an astrology and remedy class a couple of years ago, 3 years ago it's been now, but I offer remedy according to your personal stars that'll help you. But for everybody that's a Virgo rising, in this point, in this time of April 2025, your health houses are being compromised. And if you are a farmer, this could be some kind of death or infection to large animals, but it also affects small domestic house pets, Virgo. So we can be losing them, or they can get sick, or they can be infected. This is something to look out for. On a personal level, these 2 houses measure your mental health versus your physical health. So now that you're hearing this video early enough, I want you to make sure that you're fortifying yourself with vitamins and minerals and good bed rest and having good habits. Now, if you have a tendency to be addicted to substances or alcohol, I did a really nice audio that's on this channel that I'll link at the end screens at the end of the video, called "The Seduction of Alcohol and Substances." I'd like you to please share that. If you need to do that, I highly encourage you to get help now. Find someone to intervene with those bad habits if those are yours, because this will be a detrimental time if you're caught up in those ties and binded by a dependency on anything. It's really, really important with Mars opposite Pluto. This can be the extremes of cirrhosis of the liver. Pluto rules are the digestive systems of our body, of excretion. And because the liver is a filter, we have to be really careful that we're not putting things in our bodies that are toxic, such as alcohol, because it's fire, and that causes a lot of anger. Alcoholics are mean people. They've got a lot of pent-up anger that's directed inward first when they begin to drink, but that spreads out and bleeds like the hell that they take everybody else to hell with them. So this complex between the 12th and 6th house has everything to do with health issues. And I care. And there's a lot of people in this world trained, lots of doctors and nurses who want you to be well and healthy, and lots of people before you that were able to kick those bad habits and live well and live healthy and live clean. So health matters. I'm going to give you this advice, Virgo. Because you're a mental sign and because you're an analyst and a thinker, this period of Mercury retrograde is that time for remedy and repair and realization and recompense and all the rewords, repentance and reflecting and figuring things out, revising, reorganizing. Because that's going on right now, I want you to know that for your whole life, Virgo, if you don't know now, today I'm telling you that you need to make best friends with 3 minerals: calcium, potassium, and magnesium. They should be a part of your everyday diet. You should always be ingesting greens, some kind of strong bone broth. And when you're feeling out of sorts and hyperactive in your mind, you have to use your legs to spend that energy. That's a Mercury cure. So get out there, breathe fresh air, live in a clean environment, clean up your environment. And for everybody listening to these April forecasts, my homage to Dr. Mark Edmund Jones, who's no longer with us, is that I've chosen some Sabian symbols to talk to you about. And this one is quite apropos for Virgo in general, because you're the sign of the Virgin. The Mother Mary is acknowledged during the Assumption and the Ascension and the crowning, her crowning glory in our Catholic religion in your month, in the Virgo season, around the 16th of August. And I'd like you to comment below and tell me what your sun, moon, or rising sign degree is in Virgo. I'm going to give you an example today of 24 Virgo. And in the Sabian symbol for that, it is Mary's white lamb. And we're referring to the Virgin Mary. You'll often see her by painters from time immemorial that depict her holding a sweet little lamb. You often see Mary holding baby Jesus. And this is illustrating her purity, her innocence, that she trusts. You know, she had to have an immense faith to do what was the Annunciation that we just celebrated in our church on Monday, when the angel Gabriel came to tell her she would be with child, and she'd never known anything sexual yet in her virginity. And that kind of trust, that kind of hope, and that kind of faith that she would give birth to the Christ child, and that this was going to be a gift for mankind, is made up of, your essence is made up of that energy, precious Virgo. At 24 Virgo, Mark Edmund Jones says he calls the theme to be eternal spring. And he says this symbol speaks to youthful perspective, or to seeing the world through the eyes of a child. The image of Mary and her white lamb symbolize purity, trust, receptivity, openness to experience, and innocence. It has religious undertones in the allusion to Jesus and his mother. This 1953 commentary describes the image as a healthy approach to heaven through a child's wide-eye expectation. The suggestion here is that adults have responsibility to protect their own innocent expectations as well as those of children, as they are the earliest awakenings to potential. For the young child, anything and everything is possible, and there are no limitations to realizing a dream or to experiencing the wonders of life while they're discovering, beginning, and growing. On a practical level, this symbol asks the seeker to keep an open mind and to expect the best. At its highest, the symbol represents a complete absence of ulterior motives, and to be open to the naive creativity that captures men's hearts and lifts relationships to high promise. So this accent for this month of April, especially if you're born with your moon, sun, or rising sign at 24 degrees of Virgo, is purity and that sweet innocence of what every newborn baby is given and inherited in your birthright belongs to you, most especially Virgo, of any of us. The risk here is that you should guard against suspicious thinking, and that is because we've got that access in your 12th and 6th house between Mars and Pluto. But be open, have trust, celebrate the genuine, and Mary and Jesus, that bond that they have, the trust that she had, and then the love that she gave the whole world when her own baby would become all of our Savior. So I wrote here to guard against any suspicious thinking. Do not project your personal problems. Don't ignore what's obvious, and just do what needs to be done with a pure heart, Virgo. Get a good handle. You would be surprised how wonderful you feel when your body's grounded. And that's what happens when you get a nice regular regimen, a nice reword for Mercury retrograde. Get into a nice regimen of taking calcium, magnesium, and potassium. They'll ground you. They'll keep your nerves calm. They'll slow your brain down a little. Ashwagandha is very good for you. And there's something, I've been now a regular consumer of a product called Rise. I make a nice little cocoa every night that has adaptogens and helps give you better rest, keeps you calm, and has great probiotics for your belly, because your belly and your brain are related. And if Virgo worries, it throws off your whole system. So Virgo, I hope you have a really happy April. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I pray that you will share this video with your friends and family that you think it could benefit. So take care, have a good April, and get over to my website and order your monthly readings, and I'll get writing and make sure they're in your inbox as soon as possible. That $100 covers 1 month of my work. So if you want the whole year, for $1,200, I'll pin and map out for you month by month. Otherwise, you can order any of my other work and Zoom with me in a consult once I receive your order. And I really enjoy compatibility readings. I enjoy all kinds of astrology, as you well know. Take care, everyone. Don't forget to comment below and let me give you that little present of the monogram of your Sabian symbol if you write your degrees down. Take care, enjoy, and if you are getting new family members, God bless you. God bless them. How exciting. Bye for now.